Hey guys, it's Pastor Mel, and I just need to tell you something real quick. Divorce is real. Furthermore, I decided to have one, and I recommend that you do the same. Yeah, that's right. Divorce yourself from every excuse and every self-imposed limitation that has literally already cost you decades, dreams, and destiny. And don't get me wrong, nothing's more beautiful than unity. That's only when we're unified with the purpose that our Father created us. And when we're walking within the musical harmony of divine connections with like-minded people. That's people who want what we want and who value what we value and who are more than willing to lock arms with one another to help each other get to where we can get to together through mutual support. Listen, there's something going down right now, y'all. I hope that you don't miss it. If it's in you, then you know who I'm talking to. My partners and I are like family, and this thing we got is thicker than blood because it's made in the spirit. And it's in the spirit that we decided to make some changes. How do you feel about these changes? Are you ready? Let us know if you need a spot at the table. We're about to participate in a halftime of a lifetime. It's winning season. Father's favor.
Well, hello. We're grateful for another opportunity to be with you all today, right here from the city of San Antonio. And I have a few special guests who are going to be with me today, sharing some quality time. Some of them are running a little bit behind the hour on the East Coast, but they'll be here shortly in a few shakes. Bishop, much love to you, sir. Thank you for chiming in. And we have one right there in the background, just eager and ready as a beaver to come on in, and she'll be here in just a moment. But let me get you guys acclimated to where we're going today. We're talking about new beginnings. In fact, before you do anything, go ahead and type that in the comments. Hashtag new beginnings. Hashtag new beginnings. There's a great thing happening for those who have faith to receive it. How God is making all things new. Don't know where you've been. Don't know what you've been going through and handling and dealing with. But this is indeed a new season in this brand new month of July. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited about it. And we're going to be sharing some things with you that we believe that would help to undergird and support your new beginning. We all have the opportunity. He causes the sun to shine on the just and the unjust. Now, what you do with this new beginning, it's going to be up to you. Mr. Carroll, you need to come on in this house because if you're available, we need you in this seat. So come on and grab a seat if you can. Let me know if you can get in here, get in place in position. I thought you would have been tied up with all that you have going on. I'll get you the link in just one moment. So go ahead and put that in the comments, fellas, ladies, gentlemen. Put that in the comments. Hashtag new beginning. And then I'm going to bring my first of a few guests in, and we're going to get this party started. Share this broadcast with you. It's always our endeavor to be a blessing to the extent that it'll be more than worth your time. So let me get baby girl in here. We're going to get this because she got some new beginnings. Amen. Eva, how are you, darling?
What's going on?
You got it. It's good to see your face.
Yes.
Amen. I sure missed you this weekend, but I know that you were handling your business. And our conversation tonight, as I mentioned, is obviously in new beginnings. And I think you have your face on the cover of this thing, new beginnings. Amen. So we know that you have a lot to share and to contribute to this conversation about how God is speaking in your life in this season and the things that he's doing. But before we get into that, let me remind everybody, Minister Carolyn says she's trying to pack now. Got you. No worries whatsoever. Listen, guys, as I look at the calendar, I try to mark time. The word of the Lord reminds us to teach us to number our days. that we might apply our hearts to wisdom. So no man knows the day or the hour that the Lord is coming back, or no one knows even when we're going to Him. And one of those two experiences will be ours, every single one of us. But we just don't know that information. But we know that we're closer now than we've ever been, and we know that we're getting older. Come on here, don't make me sing the song. We ain't getting no younger, right? We're moving, y'all. We're on a moving, a spinning globe. And as the world turns, guys, things are happening. But the thing that I'm refreshed by, and the thing that I'm encouraged by, sometimes you're not always ready, and you're not always prepared as you would want to be. But life moves on, and it doesn't wait. But God is so gracious that He gives us a refreshing, and He gives us a new beginning. I'm 55 now, and I feel like I've said this and shared this before. I feel like I'm a late bloomer in a lot of ways, perhaps even a slow learner in a lot of ways. But the reality is that I thank God. I'll call it the second wind and the refreshing, and how even though I missed some things in my youth, He's allowing me to catch them on the latter side. And I'm reminded that He did tell us that our latter would be greater. So here we are with 191 days behind us in the calendar year, and 174 in front. Lord say the same when the creek don't rise. That's what we're going to get. And what He gives us is a gift, but what we do with it is our gift back to Him. And I want to have the conversation with you, baby girl, and others who are watching, who will chime in or maybe even watch the replay. What has God been showing you with that phrase, new beginning? What's in your heart? What's in your soul? What could you share with us that might help somebody who's in that same place or something similar?
Absolutely. I think the first thing that comes to mind is just awareness, like becoming aware that every day and every season is an opportunity. It's overwhelming to think of it like how you say it, because you're like, okay, we're in the middle of the month, and like there's all this pressure added to it. I know it's coming from a good place, but if we clarify, like that time is the opportunity, excuse me, then my ADHD brain starts webbing off into different directions. So the first thing I noted was opportunity is choice. It's exposure. It's learning anew. You just spoke on that. It's a chance. It's forward thinking. And the last thing I put was creating new beginnings. So you have a hand to play. The time may be ticking and you may be out of control, whether like how many hours you get to utilize of it or anything like that. But you actually can participate in it a lot by doing the forward thinking and creating what you want for yourself. Really investing in your own financial health, or investing in your own spiritual health, investing in your own physical health. All of this is what we essentially think of as a wholesome person or a wholesome lifestyle. Maria Robertson wrote, "Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending." So that's really powerful to me, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, all right, we didn't really have a hand in the type of world that we were born into, whether it be immediate or our overall world. Right. Ideally, it's kind of, there was a lot of things we would like to change. And we're like, okay, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do about this. I just need to roll with it. If we look at it that way, it can be anxiety filled, but if we look at it in the form of what it is, it being an opportunity, and then what opportunity is, and kind of breaking it down in those areas, you realize like, no, you have a bigger hand to play in where your life is going to end up. You don't have to just succumb to, whatever life wants to throw at you. Like, okay, I'm going to do my best with that. Well, when it throws this at you, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to do anything with it at all? Can you even see it as an opportunity? Or are you too busy trying to see it like, oh Lord, now I got something else to do? It's just something else to do. It's just more pressure. It's just more time consuming and, more performing. Or you're going to see it like, okay, I got this in my hand now. Like I could do this, I can stretch it this way, I can point it in this direction, I can put it in line with what I'm going to school with, I
Right.
can take it anywhere with so it's just an attitude adjustment,
I
and
like that.
breaking it down like this for me helps me fix my attitude when I'm looking at opportunity. The bigger one that stood out to me was exposure. Somebody spoke to me about exposure a long time ago, and they're like, you know what, you're going to continue to see yourself as like not really having a hand in things or saying things because I took these markers out, right?
Mhm.
So let's just say Eva, myself, I was given three options in life, um, be a stay-at-home mom, ideally, be incarcerated or be uneducated, or let's just add some positive stuff. I would be educated and I would have a happy, wholesome lifestyle and, it would be the white picket fence and everything. And I'd have all the vehicles I want and but what if we added some exposure and now I have a new option because that's what exposure is. Now I've been exposed to something else,
Mhm.
so now I have an alternative
There
option.
you go.
I don't have to just pick from these things anymore.
Mhm.
I'm not stuck right here. I
Yeah.
have more options, And so this is what I think about as exposure. It's like, okay, now I've been exposed to different things. Now I realize, wait, I don't just have to do that or do this. Now I can pick, for what works for me and find that and create my own happiness,
I love
with
it.
the time frame that we've been given. And so once again, I want to repeat that quote from Maria Robinson. It says, nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. So it's not rewriting the story. It's changing the end of the story, to how you want it to be.
It's
And I
complete.
think that's a more realistic way to look at it.
I love that. That's a very good perspective. Do me a favor. Oh well, now all of a sudden you're back. You were frozen, but we could hear you, and I didn't want to interrupt the
Oh,
flow.
I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
you're good because you were sharing so many powerful things, and all of those things they resonate in my heart. We have Minister Lisa Simmons is with us, and we're going to bring her into the conversation. We want to give a big shout out to my main man Maurice Covington. He says new beginnings, and that's exactly what we have. Thank you, Eva, for sharing that because you're right. It's the alternatives, it's the options that are bridged into uh, our past. So here it is where our past and our present is. But now when you get these options, when you've been exposed to different alternatives again, now you can go in a different direction. Now there's a fork in the road when at first it was just a dead end. And God is gracious to give us that, even when it's what you just said, even when it's something negative, that negative can turn to something positive through the perspectives in which
Absolutely.
we walk with and take us in a direction that there are people who went through all kinds of hell and chaos, but they took that darkness, they took that pain, they took that misery, and instead of allowing it to bury them, they built something with it. They built dynasties. They built things that will
That's
last
right.
for generations as a result of what they went through. So thank you for sharing that powerful perspective. Minister Lisa, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us with you. Listen, we know you've been busy planning for South Africa and Italy and all over the globe. So it's just good to have you here. We're talking about new beginnings, and I want to ask you the same question. How does that phrase register with you, considering here we are, almost in the middle of the year, but this latter half, this latter end of this 2023 experience? What are the new beginnings that God has birthed in your spirit?
Well, Pastor Mel, especially within I'll say the last year or so, there has been so many new beginnings, and so many times we think that it's too late to start over.
Mm.
But every day is a starting over point because we are forever learning.
Mhm.
You know, you are forever learning. You are forever, and I thank God for this, for bringing people in our path who are so knowledgeable, you know, and who bring us new opportunities. And they add flavor. I love to say they add flavor to our lives, right?
Mhm. Yes.
So it's like when you get this, when you begin to gain new knowledge and new insight, and you begin to just apply these principles, and that's my favorite thing, you know. I'll say I love to take principles and apply them to my life and watch them manifest,
Mhm.
you know. So when you begin to gain new insight that you can just apply to your life and watch things blossom and watch things bloom, you know. So new beginnings for me, it's an everyday ongoing thing. You know, I was reading this book recently. It's called The Slight Edge. You know,
Yes.
because so many times we're trying, we're working on ourselves, we're working on our projects, we're
Mhm.
working on our goals, and
Yeah.
so many times we feel like sometimes we get to a standstill,
Yeah.
or we don't know where to go next, or oh
Yeah.
God, I've exhausted everything that I know to do.
Yeah.
So what am I not doing?
Right.
And every single time it comes back to that slight edge. And one thing I learned is that we talk about the 5% and the 95%, but
Mhm.
one thing that the 5% does that most of us we don't do is that it's always sticking to what works,
Mhm.
being consistent,
Mhm.
whether it looks like something is working or not. Be persistent, be consistent, and just wait on it. You
Oh,
know, wait on it and watch it happen. And it's sort of like compound interest. You
yes.
know, yeah. Even when you're doing those little things that
Mhm.
seem so insignificant to
Mhm.
other people, and
Mhm.
sometimes nobody even know you that you are doing
Right.
them. Only you know that
Right.
you're doing them. But it's like taking that $1 bill and starting off with that $1 bill,
Mhm.
and $1 sounds like nothing, right? But when you continue to double that $1 bill, because one thing I heard is that if you want to succeed, then double your failures.
Uh,
Double your failures, you know,
okay.
keep going. So you take that $1 bill and then you double that $1 bill. Say next week you'll put $2. And
Mhm.
then the next week, now you have $3. So the next week you'll add $3 more and you have $6, you
Mhm.
know, and then next day you'll add $6, you know, and then you have $12.
Mhm.
So then you add $12, then you have $24, and it looks like you're not doing anything because it all started with a $1 bill, right? But
Mhm.
before you know it, man, when you look at that card or that bank account or in that piggy bank or whatever, you're like, oh my God, you
Mhm.
know, and it seems so insignificant with $1 bill. And so does being consistent, doing those daily things that you
Yes.
do, like reading 10 pages a day, you
Mhm.
know, doing those little things. It
Yes.
looks like you're not doing anything, but sooner or later that breakthrough comes,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So new beginnings for me is like everyday thing because you're always adding, you're always adding, and after a while you'll be like that little frog who got stuck in the pail and was churning that butter, you know, that grease, and it turned to butter, and after a while he had ground enough to jump out of that pail, you
Mhm.
know. So before you know it, man, you'll be jumping. You got your breakthrough. You don't know, you know, how it came. It just came, but it came from those little insignificant things that you continue to do. Those new beginnings that you kept doing every day, just being
Right.
consistent about it.
I love that. Or so we say um, that is something that was not significant, that it was insignificant.
Yeah.
But the reality, as you said, it was never insignificant at all.
Exactly.
We're taught to despise not small beginnings. And this is a word, thank you, Minister Lisa. This is a word maybe of confirmation for somebody out there who has been striving and praying. Hey, Nisi. Kev, good to see you, man. Much love to you. Um, maybe you've been striving and maybe you've been going about, and as Mr. Lisa said, you haven't seen the results. Be persistent. Stay with it. Don't you dare quit, because it is your persistency and your consistency that's going to create the new beginning. So thank you, ladies, for sharing that. That's powerful. I want to get a little bit more personal, and then I'll share some of the new beginnings that's going on in my neck of the woods. And then I'm going to share with the audience some things as it relates to what they can do and how this can help them with their new beginning as well. Can you both, we'll start with you, Minister Lisa. Can you give us something that is a specific new beginning, personally for you? What are your new beginnings in this season, and how are you handling them? Were you ready for them? Were you prepared for them? What's going on in your neck of the woods? What's your new beginning?
Well, my new beginning right now is, as I said, is continually growing and continuing. And even at 61, at 61, you're forever learning. But right now, my new beginning is literally my fulfilling my desire to actually travel. And you always have a starting point, right? Traveling has always been my passion, my dream as a little kid, and this opportunity came along 4 years ago, but my love, everyone knows my love is Africa. So right now, my desire is actually just to travel different parts of Africa. And to be able to have this opportunity in a couple of weeks on the 24th, this will be my first trip to South Africa. And it actually happened through our company, Travorium. So I am so looking forward to that. But there are so many. Look, I'm like, I want to go to Nairobi. I want to go to Tanzania. I really want to tour West Africa, but that is one of my new beginnings. And now that I'm getting ready to retire soon, thank you, yay. I'm getting ready to retire soon. And that's one thing that I was not prepared for, Coach Mel. So many times we prepare at the age, because sometimes people think that, once you get a certain age, that it's too late to start over.
Right.
Again, but it's never too late to start over. And so sometimes people settle. Mm-hmm. They'll settle for where they are, thinking that, okay, there's going to be no increase in my life. There is, there's nothing, I have to take what I have here and I have to make that happen, or I have to make that work, or I have to struggle with what I have. And so they'll settle for that. But for people, I guess, like me, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of other people, because a lot of people tell me that I'm a little weird sometimes, but because I believe, I just believe, that there is no such thing as impossible, because some people say I believe in the impossible, but I think through Christ that all things are possible. Yep. And I don't believe that there is anything impossible. So when I realized that, okay, I'm going to retire, or I had decided that I'm going to retire, I actually started setting things up. And I went to the Social Security Administration, and I realized that what I thought I would be getting, I will not be getting. I was like, wow, I was totally surprised that I didn't understand how it worked. Right. I did not understand how it worked. And I'm like, wow, that's about half of what I make while I'm working, and I think that would scare a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And they would like, well, I can't leave my job. I can't leave my job now. But when you have multiple streams of income, and I learned that at an older age, in my latter years, I learned that I didn't learn about multiple streams of income, but I did learn how I was able to acquire them.
Yes.
These were things that I've always thought of for other people, but never for myself, but being able to position myself, being able to glean off of the knowledge of other people as they pour into you. And you have to be open. Yeah. You have to be open to learn from other people. My psychology teacher, he used to tell us all the time, He said, you can either go through the storm, or you can learn what he called cheap knowledge.
Mm.
And cheap knowledge is hearing somebody else's story
Mm-hmm.
and realizing that you don't want to go down that path.
That's good.
But so you'll learn from them, and you'll detour from that path. But
Mm-hmm.
so many other times people will say, well, that's you, that's not me. Yeah. And so then they'll go down the path and fall into a rabbit's hole, and they'll go through struggles. Right. They'll go through struggles that they did not have to go through if they had accepted the cheap knowledge that you didn't even have to pay for. All you had to do was take it in and apply it.
Absolutely.
To use it as a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, right now, my new beginnings as of now is actually adding more flavor and increase and acquiring the things that I've always desired in my life. Never wanting to leave this world, saying that I didn't do everything in my power to enjoy all the blessings of God, to be open to opportunities and adventures. I had one person who was on my page yesterday, and they actually sent me a message, and it was like, you're so colorful. And, I do wear a lot of colors, but they said that speaks so much about your life. Said, you looking at your picture, you're a person who loves fun, who loves life. And I do. And I want everything that God has to offer me. So I do approach life sort of as a little kid, gleeful, enjoying, even whether it's the fresh air of the trees, little anything. I just want it. I want to grasp and hold on to it, and enjoy it, experience it. My favorite scripture is, "Oh, taste
and see."
Exactly. That the Lord is good, blessed, that's happy, overjoyed, beyond happy. It's a man who trusts in him. So that is my new beginning as of now. I said a mouthful, I know, but as of today and tomorrow, my new beginning is forever increasing, forever growing, forever glowing, forever learning, and forever experiencing.
I love it. I love it. You have helped me, and I'm sure all of those who are listening live and replay. I want somebody to go ahead and put this in the comments. Hashtag get some cheap knowledge. Hashtag get some cheap knowledge. You're paying way too much. You better get it on discount. You better look at somebody else and find out what it's going to be for you too if you don't choose the alternative ever, if you don't choose some options and get exposed to some other things that you can do instead. Thank you for sharing that, Minister Lisa. Eva, I want you to give us what's going on in your neck of the woods. What are some of the new beginnings at this present moment? Some of them may be frightening, some of them may be exciting. Whatever it is. What are your new beginnings? And I want you to think that there's somebody watching, listening. They might be exactly where you are. So just, give us what's going on.
So I think I'm gonna bounce off of that idea, Miss Lisa. What a blessing! Thank you for sharing all of that. This thing about cheap knowledge. I heard a sermon once last year in Austin, and the woman that was speaking, she said, count the cost. And in what we're doing with Trevorium, what we're participating in, what we're sharing, like everything's going to cost something, I have a colorful past, speaking of colors, and a lot of that I didn't have to go through. It was unnecessary struggling, unnecessary experience, unnecessary heartaches, and just drama everywhere because I refused to heed good counsel. Or I didn't stay consistent, as you were saying. I wasn't persistent. My loyalties were all in the wrong areas. Good quality to have, really, really bad when you put them in the wrong areas, So, you know what I'm saying? And so I kept thinking, yeah, she's right. Like cheap knowledge it's savings. You're saving yourself. You're saving yourself from heartache. You're counting the cost, and you're saying, do I rather pay this for all of this hot mess, or do I rather pay this and get a whole bunch of goodness, because it costs you nothing, except for something you're going to utilize anyway, which is your time and your brain power, and your heart gets invested. You might invest some money, but for the most part, if you heed the proper counsel and look for the right resources for where you're trying to get in life, which is where I find myself right now. My new beginning is just utilizing the life coaching that I've been given, the family and the friends that I've been blessed with, coming back home, being that prodigal daughter, and, really doing the work inside of myself, to position myself for just a better, more clear, more refreshing. You see, my little theme is water and plants, like just something more easy, that it doesn't, you don't have to kill yourself getting there. That is crazy. That is not necessary. You don't, that blood, sweat, and tears thing, don't follow that imagery. It's a symbol for hard work. It doesn't mean literally blood, sweat, and tears, just those laboring days I know are behind me, in the sense of like, I'm literally giving myself away and losing pieces of myself just to be happy. It doesn't work that way. It was nonsense, So my new beginning right now is just that, heeding good counsel and keeping a student's kind of attitude, and just constantly trying to feed on that. Yeah, it's frustrating because I'm like, all right, I'm not getting anywhere. I should have a paycheck by now,
Right.
but I'm going to stick with it. And I'm excited, to see what's, the fruition of it all.
I
So I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
You guys have helped me and others, I'm sure. This is all good stuff, guys. Thank you for chiming in. Elder Harry, it's good to see you, beloved. Thanks for chiming in, my cousin. Listen, guys, I'm going to share something with you, two things, and then I'm going to share a screen so that you can see, because I do need to get on another call. But I want you to see that every one of us, I mean, the ladies have shared things that are happening in their lives, and you're not too old for a new beginning. It's not over. You're still breathing. You still have your mind, and you may be faced with challenges and tribulations and things that are hard pressed, to say the least. But you can have a new beginning. It's really your perspective. Someone I'm speaking to today, in fact, we were talking about cruises. My family, we love New Year's cruises, so we set one up for the coming year, the blessing of the Lord. And we enjoy them, but we always do 5 or 7 days, somewhere in that neighborhood. But they were telling me, and they've been multiple times, they've been on 30 to 45-day cruises. And I say, shut your mouth, what you say. I'm going to say it again. 30 to 45-day. And I love cruises now. Now, some people will get bored, but they're going, man, they've gone to as far as Israel. They've gone all up. We were talking about Dubai. They've gone as far as Dubai and all that from here by ship. So, and then they go to all these multiple nations and ports. So they literally see the world from the cruise ship and all the experiences on the cruise ship. Some people say, well, I can't be on the ship that long. Listen, if you get on the right ship, you won't even know you're on the ship. So, I mean, that's just me, though. That's
With the right people.
with the right people, But yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
So that perspective alone, I said, oh my God, that would be a new beginning, something of that sort. So I'm not there yet, of course, but I thought of that. But that brings me to the new beginnings going on in our neck of the woods. Of course, shout out to my queen, First Lady Kendra. We share her new beginning of her retirement from last week. Today is the first real week that she's experiencing as a retiree, because last week was holiday and it would have been some comp time. And plus it was the summer week where she would have been off anyway. So it would have been this week, she would have actually been going back to work. And she's always, when, career 5 o'clock starts her day, and sometimes 2 o'clock, sometimes even 3 o'clock would end her day, depending upon all the stuff compacted on the inside of it. So this is a new beginning for her, and we're navigating what that looks like. And the two things that she's definitely devoted to, of course, would be ministry and travel, the travel that we are all a part of, and that experience. Another new beginning would be I've written two books. One was called Hell to the No, that's KNOW. The second one is The Seven Keys for the Best of Your Life. Well, this third book, I'm very excited, and it's going to be a partnership. It's going to be two parts. First part I'll write alone, and then the second part I'm writing in conjunction with a number of individuals, including these ladies on the screen here. It's called Going Places, and we're all going to have the opportunity to tell a portion of the story of where we've been, where we are, and where we're going with this backdrop of travel. And for next year, the Lord said, Sand Creek Don't Rise, we'll be meeting in key cities and nations, and we'll be touring those and exploring those. And we'll also be sharing, speaking and teaching and all of that from the book, to which we'll be sharing with our mutual interest called Going Places. So I'm excited about what that's going to look like. And what I want to do as I wrap this up, I want to share my screen with you all. We're part of a worldwide travel club that gives us the opportunity to travel so far below the prices that everybody else is paying that really it's almost, the term and the expression we use, a no-brainer. You really don't even have to put any thought to this type of thing. It's kind of like if you're going to buy gas and all the gas was exactly the same, whether it was on this corner, on that corner, and on this corner is $4.50 a gallon, and then on the other corner is $2 a gallon. I mean, who's going to think long and hard about which places I'm going to get my gas? I mean, it's just that simple. So let me share with you. We have a platform. Hey, baby girl, it's good to see you there in Vegas, and I know you're working it out. So it's good to see that we have a platform. No matter what your travel is or what you desire to be, if you're already traveling or if you desire more travel at this point in your life. 55 years old, I got more time behind me than in front of me on this side, right? So I want to make sure the places that I haven't seen, I've been a bunch, but nowhere near where I want. I got to make sure that I got time and the income to go. This is the way to do it. So we're saying to you, if you're watching this, someone to share this information with you, take a quick look at what you could have for yourself. And as I put it on the screen, give me just one moment to bring clarity to it. Let me see if I could get this. Yes. So here's what we have by way of just what we call world tours. And this is just one of the many ways in which you could be put in a position where your expenses for travel could be not only substantially reduced, but they can really be eliminated. And here's what I mean by that. We have persons in our team, and you're listening to some of them right here on the screen, that we get paid as a result of sharing this information with you. We literally get paid while we're traveling, doing what it is that we love to do anyway. And some of us have put ourselves in a position where we've earned enough income to pay for additional bonuses of the flights and everything else, the shopping excursions and sprees and everything else to go along with it. In fact, some of us, early retirement as a result of this type of thing. And we have people who have made full-time incomes, upwards of six-figure income, all the way into the millions of dollars, literally speaking. So it's no shortage of income. It's just a shortage of people who are willing to be open-minded enough really to make what we call a no-brainer. And here's why I call it a no-brainer. Here's just for July alone, and I'm going to move very quickly. Sonia, it's good to see you, darling. Thank you for chiming in. Just for July alone, here's some of the world tours that we've had available for the members in our club to take. Now, people are going here all the time without us. They're going to Rome. They're going to Athens. They're going to Punta Cana. They're going to Puerto Vallarta. They're going to Budapest and New York. They're going to Venice. They're going to Crete. They're going to Washington, D.C. But what they're not doing is they're not going and staying at these 4 and 5 star resorts and hotels at these prices. That's a fact. So I'm going to show you just for July. And let me also tell you that on the backdrop of this is just one small portion of the perks and the benefits of this travel club. So if you talk about new beginnings and you really want to enjoy some things with your friends, your closest family, and you want to have some family reunions and you want to create some momentous memories and you want some treasures that will stay with you for the rest of your life, I think it's probably going to need to include something just like this. So let me just tell you that we have net zero pricing that gives us travel agent pricing without being a travel agent. And let me tell you why that's huge. I'm a travel agent. I've been a travel agent for 11 years now, my wife and I. But we've been a member of this club for 5 years. And for the past 5 years, we've had the privilege and honor of sharing with people that they can get travel agent prices and they don't have to do the certifications. They don't have to do the training. They don't have to book travel for anybody. They can just get the perks and the benefits just like they were. So we have over 2 million properties in our inventory with that. And then we have over 100 world tours like you're about to see in a moment. And we have over 2,000 Dreamcation, what we call Dreamcation escapes or getaways. Those are just like the opportunities where you sometimes want to get away. You're like, well, where can I go? Man, we got over 2,000 destinations waiting for you. And you'll have prices that most people, they really wouldn't even believe it. I was looking at some stuff today of all places in Asia, guys, and these were some beautiful resorts and hotels. And as a result of them being Dreamcations in our back office, all I had to do was pay the tax. So I want you, and this is 8 days, 7 nights. It would have cost upwards of well more than $1,000, but because we're part of this package, this travel platform is part of our package, we would have paid the tax and I booked it, and we would have been good to go by using the points that we have in the system. So let me just share with you. I'm going to pull up. I want one of the ladies to tell me, call one out for me. You got Rome, you got Athens. Give me one or two. Call one out for me.
Puerto Vallarta.
All right, I'm going to call up Puerto Vallarta. Okay, this is the correct.
She just want to practice her Spanish.
Practicing real good.
This is a good time. This is a good time.
Yeah. So this is one of the world tours, and this one is in October in this time frame. But you can see that in October, the retail rate would be just over $1,000. But we have a system that we get points, and we're able to get the points for free, y'all. You got to catch this. And if you get your points for free and use your points, this price will be $29 for the 18th to the 22nd. And look here, this is an all-inclusive 4-star resort, and this is the Junior Suite Garden Room. And let me tell you something. This is the type of stuff that people look at, they say, well, that can't be right. This must be a scam. Every single one of us ever is brand new. She's just getting started. But every single one of us on the screen have enjoyed these types of vacations multiple times for several years. In fact, I would dare say that we will never, ever pay retail rates again, because this is the type of stuff that we do on a regular basis. Give me another one. I'm going to go with another one that you might share. Let me see. What else you got? Give me, call up one more that you saw. Anybody else? Call up one more that you saw for me.
Click on Budapest.
Budapest. That's a place I haven't thought of, but I'm quite sure. Listen, guys, this is a Hilton, a Superior room right off the river. Okay. Children under 6 can stay free. And as you can see, $380 would be the price here. And guys, this type of destination, as you're looking at it, oh man, this is the type of price where a place where people are paying well over $1,000, probably $1,200. You can look it up for yourself the Hilton Budapest for this is summer time frame, July the 26th to the 30th. Guys, our price, platinum price, would be $380. I'm going to give you just a couple of more examples. So those are July's world tours. Then, of course, August, guys, you got Paris, you got Waikiki. Guys, let me show you this Waikiki that we have. This is one that we've selected. It's for the August time frame. I'm going to look. We paid $536. I promise you that if you go to this site right here, or not our site, but if you go to any of the sites to book this exact same destination, if you do that, you're going to be paying every bit of over $579 to $799 in between that neighborhood every single night. For us, that price includes 4 nights combined. So I want you to catch that. That's 4 nights combined for the price we're getting in August. Of course, you could do Vegas. We'll be there next week. Paris, New York, Malaga, Rome again, Greece. Let's go down to, I'll show you the Dubai, September. Here's Dubai, guys. You got to see this for yourself. You have multiple options, but I want you to see that on the retail side, that's comparable with the retail rates of other companies, but we don't pay retail. $7.99 would be the low side. I've seen it as high as $8.99, $9.99 in that neighborhood, somewhere in that neighborhood. Guys, by using our points, which I want to say again, that we get for free, and we'll show you how to do that, our price is $99. That's 6 days, 5 nights, and that's with a daily breakfast. I want to mention to you that the breakfast itself stands at, if you go to their own site, is $35 a day. So let's just use that. Set $35 a day for 2 people all day, every day. That's $70. Do the math. And $70 times 6 mornings, 6 days for breakfast. Do the math on that, guys. And you can tell what a steal this is. We're paying $99 and we're getting $70 worth of breakfast for 6 days, guys, and the room. So there's no way that someone can tell me that, hey, I need to check prices. There's no price. Look, it's a no-brainer. There's no price to check. The price has already been checked. This is absolutely the best way to do it. And if you're not doing it this way, you're just wasting good money and throwing it straight out of the window. So we're using these world tours for our events. We actually have a ministry and a leadership event in Waikiki in August, and we have another one in September in Dubai. Shout out to Rabbi Brooks and Apostle Brooks. We look forward to meeting with them in Waikiki for the event. And shout out to Ambassador Sherry Self. We look forward to meeting with her and her team in Dubai for that outstanding event that we're going to be doing there. So, guys, we're out of time, but what I do want to just share again, we're going places, and we're excited about you going with us to do your thing. Whatever your thing is, this is the opportunity for you to enjoy it, for you to share with other people, friends you want to spend time with, loved ones you want to spend time with. Time is too short. Life is too fragile to waste it. There's a new beginning with your name on it, and we're excited to share with you. Coach Tanya, I'm going to have you to close us out since we weren't able to get you on to share your story. We know you're in Vegas. We'll see you shortly. Close us out if you'll do that for us.
Well, I probably, my day may not be all that great, but I'm glad I'm sitting at the light. I just did a zip line at Fremont Street. So Pastor Mel and Coach Lisa, y'all saved my life in New Orleans when we did the swamp tour. Verena Culpepper saved my life when I was doing the zip line. I'm here with her. I got my own personal tour guide, and I didn't know Miss Culpepper prior.
Hey, Miss Culpepper.
Hi there. How are you? So we let the fish eat our. We let the fish eat our feet. Yes. I did it 3 times, y'all. I stuck my foot in 3 separate times at the same sitting. So listen, y'all go and watch my Facebook. I'll never forget this. And these are memories that you just can't erase. You know what I'm saying? So look at Ava over there cracking up on me. But I'm telling you, we had a good time. Now we on our way to Benihana's. Another first for me. This the year of first. I'm living because we all live to die. So I'm gonna do some living before I go.
Come on now. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed evening. I'm about to jump on the Faith Leaders Call. If you know anybody who's a faith
All righty.
and you got some pastors, some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists in your life, tell them they need to be on the call. It'll be on my page as well, and we'll see you there. We're going places, and we got a new beginning to get there. Love you guys. Y'all take care.
Love you.